10 seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
And good morning, everyone. How the heck are you? Hope you're all having a fantastic Hump Day, Wednesday, March 10th. All right, 2021. Excited. Just scheduled my wife's COVID shots this morning. She's not going to get them for a while because of the demand, and her schedule and all. But I'm scheduled. She's scheduled. Everybody's happy now. Welcome to the show. Hope you're having a great morning. And we'll address why you didn't see our usual opening video. But anyway, just want to say good morning to you and hope all is well. And want to salute my Patreon supporters. Thank you. Thank you. These wonderful people are backing the mission of the Rising Tide every month with a modest financial contribution, and it has gone to help us quite a bit to not only maintain the show, but actually to make things look a little nicer, a little better. And anyway, check us out on www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And we appreciate each and every one of you. And we are part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Great entertainment 7 days of the week. We do count this stupid after show. Give us all 7 days. But no, actually, we do have, now that we have Comics, Chaos, and Sass with the delightful Heather Ellen on Sunday nights. But we have 7 day a week broadcasting on this network. A lot of great shows where you can learn about everything from comic books, broadcasting, cigars, find watches, and coming, and this is Friday, 2 days from now at 6 p.m. Ted Davies Artistry will unveil his brand new show, Drinking with the Davies. That's gonna be exciting. But we have science and writing and all kinds of great stuff on here. Comic books. Tomorrow night will be the new edition, issue number 3 of Comic Book Spectrum. Anyway, I'm really excited about what we're offering here, and we hope that you are excited too, and you'll check out as many of our shows as possible. And tomorrow will be a great day for shows. We're going to start out with TED Talks at 10 a.m. He's going to talk about timepieces and a brand new, he collects watches, and it's really kind of cool to listen to him talk about it. So please check that out. Then tomorrow night, Comic Book Spectrum with myself, Eric Hawkins, Clyde Hall, and Brian Rodman. And we're going to be talking about the state of the industry, having reviews, all kinds of good stuff. Excuse me. Then at 8 p.m., Creative as Hale, Amy Hale, and her husband John will be interviewing the one, the only Susan Tisdale. If you have not heard of her, I don't write in her genre, and I've heard of her, but anyway, tune in. She is amazing. She is spunky. She is fiery, and she has taught me what chesticles are all about. Then at 9 p.m. will be Stupid O'Clock with Joe Dog McKeel and the rest of their great gang, and followed by the Stupid After Show around 11 p.m. So check out all we got on the Rising Tide Publications channel. I do want to address why we don't have our opening video. We have come to what was eventually a parting of the ways with Geek Insider. So we are flying solo now. And we wish Geek Insider, and particularly Meredith Logren, who's helped this show so much, great fortune in their upcoming ventures. And please support us. We beg, we plead for your support, please, as we go forward alone, except for the Rising Tide Publications Network, who I've got to thank for their support of me. And speaking of support, we have got to, I'm going to be setting up the thing so I can keep tabs on it, but let's see here. I've got to check out something here. Hold on. YouTube.com, Ted Davies Artistry. Now, Monday, you groovy cats and kittens helped our dear friend Amy Hale get above 200. Can we do it for Ted? too. He's got a great bunch of shows on his channel there. And you can be part of Ted's tribe. He's got the great Tuesday show, TED Talks. Then he talks timepieces on Thursday. And I think tomorrow he's also going to have a cigar show at 11 with Carl Witzman, I believe. And that's always going to be fun. And then we've got Drinking with the Davies coming up this coming Friday. So he's at 188 subscribers. So if you're listening to me right now, please, 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 please pop in on YouTube and let me get what it says here above. And there's probably a more elegant way to do this, but this is what we're doing. Anyway, we're going to go to the chat there and we're going to put this in. Shut up, Christian. And there is the link for Ted Davies Artistry. Please go take a moment, if you would, during the show and give his page a subscription. And while you're at it, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, you don't know what you're missing. We got all kinds of stuff on there. So please subscribe to my page while you're there too. Brian K. Morris, Rising Tide Publications. So let's talk to you now. To heck with me. I'm boring. Anyway, Carlene is still all alone. Oh, just like an Eric Carmen song, all by herself. Anyway, Carlene, mwah, glad to see you. Glad you were at the show last night with Brian Rodman. Clever title pending. Who didn't have fun watching that? And we had the return of Sarah. She's okay, folks. Boy, is she okay. Ha ha, hubba hubba. Anyway, no, but anyway, she popped in last night and made us all very, very happy. And we hope that Carly will get some company soon. Oh, look, there's Carl Witzman all alone. And yeah, it's quiet. Wakey waker, Trevor and Teresa, says Carl. And Michaela Jane says, I'm here. Does that count? It does. It does. And Michaela's still stuck at 314 YouTube subs. Well, we got it. We'll spotlight you one of these mornings. How's that sound? We'll take turns, you know. And good morning, Pops Van Zandt. Comic Talks with Pops Van Zandt from YouTube. How long does a guy have to wait to get service around here? Well, if you want somebody to service you, Pops, I'll be free in a couple hours. Carl Witzman better than my 12, I suppose. I think I lost one. I still subscribe to you. And I will be making a video for my channel today and possibly posting one. Excellent, Michaela. Michaela always posts at 7 p.m., has a premiere at 7 p.m., on Friday nights. Please check it out. And congratulations again to Michaela for her great QuadCon appearance. And Pops, it's all self-serve today. Okay, and Comics Talk with Pops Van Zandt says, Michaela, you can send the 50 more subs you have than you can send the 50 more subs you have than I have. And she mocks Pops with her superior laughter. And nope, they are my subs and I don't share my toys. And Carl, self-serve for a single dude, that's every day. Yeah. Just that Weird Al song about I've pulled up into the gas station of love and I have to use the self-service pumps. And see, trying to figure out which library that is in the photo. Oh, okay. And Pops Van Zandt will share his, and he's pouting, poor Pops. I'd share mine with you. And Miguel Jada stayed up late trying to finish edits for Warriors Worth, the latest book in the Elite Warriors series. So I'm still in bed naked. Oh, really? Okay, folks, this has been the end of the show, and we'll be, and you know my usual response, Michaela, photos or it didn't happen. And okay, I will share my subs with you, Pops. And Ted Davies Artistry, good morning to you, sir. He's bringing the cafefe. What a coincidence. I'm going to pour a little more here and heat this up. Oh, baby. Now that I'm thinking about Michaela doing her edits. Oh, you'd be surprised, Michaela. I have had people tell me that they do watch the show naked. They do. But we'll get to Christian later. But anyway, and there's Ted with a coffee. Thanks. Oh, yeah. And good news, even though PenCon rescheduled, I found 2 more shows to set up at. Excellent, Michaela. That's super. Don't forget, if you're on my mailing list, which you can get to at... which you can subscribe to at risingtide.pub. Check out my list of shows, and I'll give you some contact names if you need them. Yeah, I never did get the email from PenCon about the postponement. For those of you who don't know, PenCon is a huge book show that happens in early September in St. Louis, Missouri, of course. It is a beautiful affair. It is like several dozen authors in various genres. And there's also educational and motivational lectures, a couple of guest keynote speakers, and it's just a super place to get your psychic batteries recharged. I've been I when they have it, it had to get canceled last year too. But then again, St. Louis, I could be wrong, but Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri could still be like a hot spot for this, and it's probably the hotel that canceled. Beautiful hotel, the Red Lion Hotel on 14th Street. But anyway, it's an amazing place and an amazing environment, and it's just indescribable how cool it is. Michaela, then we got to get you to Imaginarium. That's all there is to it. Anyway, Nicholas Tockard, good to see you, brother. As we here in the tiny town surrounded by corn and just off the exact middle of nowhere, brace for 45-mile-per-hour winds, which are totally the reason there is rumbling and growling outside. Yeah, I've been hearing it too. It's been hitting my 20 as well, good buddy. You and Amanda and Xander stay safe, all right? That's all there is to it. Cookies had a thing where a machine went down, and I mean down hard. It was a shout out Christian. It was a steel presser, and it's one of those, they take a plate of steel and it smacks it down and forms whatever they wanted to. I went to a casket factory when I was in high school, a casket factory here in Batesville, or not here, but not too far away from in Batesville, Indiana. And they would take a sheet of steel, put it down on this thing, and the thing would come down like wham, and it felt like a meteor had hit the earth. And then when the weight came up, there was the fully formed exterior of the casket. They said at the time that it was the equivalent of putting the world's largest ocean liner at that time, all of its weight on a postage stamp. And that there had been people over the years who had fallen into that thing by accident, I hope. And there was nothing left. I mean, it didn't even sound like they had to clean much. So it's pretty impressive. So this device has been down for like a day and a half. And we don't know if Cookie will be going into work at all this week. But it's okay. But anyway, Nick, you stay safe, brother. Joe Bachman, good to see you. How are you, my friend? Good morning to you. And yikes, Nick. But yeah, we are getting that too, says Michaela. And morning, Joe. Yeah, everybody should have a little morning, Joe. You know what I'm saying? Oh. And I'm not talking about news shows. And the skunk rocker, dude, it always makes me happy when you're here. Why in the wide world of sports does this say Nevermind the Furthermore for March 9th? It does, because the person who set it up was an idiot, probably. And I guess it's true what they say at times, all wibbly wobbly and stuff. See, Doctor Who is a documentary. It's not fiction. Wow, we are all watching the wrong episode. I'm doing the wrong episode, and I've been doing the wrong episode for 6 years. Anyway, good morning, Brian and the Nevermorians. Good morning, Skunk. How are you, my friend? And I can honestly say that today, it's a good morning for you. Oh, excellent. I want to hear more. And Carl Witzman agrees with me, and sometimes the laziness of another worker can work out to my benefit. The guy who was supposed to do the Knoxville run decided he didn't want to come to work today. Oh, and so you're not in the bad part of the world today? That's super, Skunk. That's great. That's a reason to get up right there. Skunk, says Ted Davies Artistry, who, by the way, go to YouTube and look up Ted Davies Artistry, and please subscribe. And Nick Tockard, is your axe sharp? Is it ready? Do you know how to use it against the human or inhuman forces that stalk the night? Is there any doubt? Buy your copy of The Fighting Axe today on Amazon. That is the sequel to The Simple Sword. Nick Tockard has put out a brand new book, and we are so excited. It debuted as #1 in a couple of his genres. That's so cool. So please check that out. It's a great reference work for writers, or if you just like the idea of sharp blades rending human flesh, then this is the book for you. But anyway, that is so cool. I'm so happy for you. And we just had our first comment dump, which means I have to start talking faster. Okay, and the Skunk Rocker says, after playing Musical Roots, I got my old one back. I get to eat at a decent hour. Yay! And I might even be able to get done at a decent hour. Yay! Oh, that's super, man. Well, I hope you keep having a good day, Skunk. You have more than earned it, my man. And Michaela Jade from Nick Tockard says, yes, those wind advisories always affect us. I had to go bend down the hatches open for yesterday's soft, warm glory. Yeah. Yeah, to give you an idea, Nick lives on the southern edge of town. I believe it's a southern or western. But anyway, it's glorious view of the agriculture of the Hoosier state, but there's nothing there to block any of the weather. I know, because I used to live when I lived in Champaign for our house was kind of like that too. So, like, we got the worst of it. In fact, the last time Indiana got this much snow was the same time Champaign, Illinois got that so much snow. And I was telling my next door neighbor, we actually, towards the end of the year, we actually started running out of places to put snow. And I told Cookie, if there's one more snow, we're just going to have to keep you in here. We can't get you out. There's no place to put the snow. Fortunately, that was the last snow of the year. So, but yeah, it was a bear. And Joe Bachman says, I think I'm finally done with the apps I've created, submitting my last update right now. Super, Joe. That's fantastic. I look forward. Please keep us posted on how well it's doing. All right. And congratulations from Nick Tockard and from all the Nevermorians. I'll speak for us all. And good morning to Trevor Hawkins. Good morning to you, sir. Good to see you. And everyone's saying hi. And hi right back. And Nick Tockard says, you guys all know we start poor Brian off as a deficit every day with the early comments. Yeah, I'm only 17 minutes behind. I'm going to catch up. And Nick Tockard only about 15 or 20 minutes. It's fine. And Brian, Marsha, Charles F. Milhouse, the publisher and editor and chief set of hands at Stormgate Press. Get this book, Pulp Reality #1. Let's get some amens for how good this book is. And he's currently working on Pulp Reality #2. And I realized that I better get started on it, really get serious about editing this saga down. Because I don't want Charles to be able to say, well, I got 2 books out in the time it took you to get one, and you haven't gotten one out yet. So anyway, Charles F. Milhouse, hope you and Marianne and family are having a great, great Wednesday. Good to see you as always, my friend. And Nick Tucker, this was posted as Brian said, good morning. Okay, that's not bad. Only, 16 minutes behind. Let's catch up. Got your video for the special featured. Brian loved it. Oh, great. Thank you, Charles. Stay tuned to this show, because Charles has a really cool idea for Pulp Reality #2 that you are so gonna dig. You really will love it. And Jeffrey Hayes, good to see you, my man. And you were fantastic. Jeffrey, I didn't get a chance to tell you, you did a great job yesterday on TED Talks, your interview with him. It was fantastic. Seriously, it was, Jeff. Always glad to see you. You make me smile. And happy Hump Day. Hope everyone's making it a great day. Check out plasmafiregraphics.com for when the look of your book matters to you. I forgot to mention you were met. Yeah, I'm still getting used to the new pattern we're going to have to adopt for the show until we get a new intro and outro, which I'll be kind of working on. But I've gotten offers of help, and believe me, I will take them. I really will. But because Jeffrey is busy, man. Jeff is so busy. Check out Plasma Fire Graphics. We got it. We got his ad at the top of the show. But in case you came in late, this is what you missed. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, remember, the cover is what frequently sells your work. So get the best cover you can. You saw those covers that Jeffrey made. Go to plasmafiregraphics.com and give a like to his Facebook page and see some more examples of his fantastic work. Excellent. And good morning, Nevermorians from Rick Bradley. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're, man, I'm glad you're alive. Poor Rick was in a fender bender, and you still managed to get to the show last night. That is the dedication this world needs. And Skunk Rocker says, I just heard some old biddy out here at Walmart complain very loudly about the music, that it's just noise. Van Halen's Jump. Oh, that's a great song. To quote Devo, some things never change. Yeah, that's true. Skunk, I tell you, Skunk, we do our banking in a local credit union, and it was astounding. One day I walked in and they were playing some music, and it was kind of funny because I'm listening and I'm like, I was with Cookie and I'm like, honey, listen to the music, and it was Rock and Roll High School by the Ramones. And I told the teller, I said, I never thought I'd walk into a banking institution and hear the Ramones. You just made my day. And it's like our bank is rather hip. I'm kind of digging that. But anyway, yeah, there's always going to be somebody, Skunk, with no taste whatsoever for music, and anyone that doesn't like Van Halen doesn't need to be speaking to me. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, someone I'm sure likes Van Halen is Bill Sarton. Good morning to the man with the golden fez. Well, we're working on that. Bill Sarton, good to see you, sir. And all the Nevermorians, count your blessings and be a blessing to someone else. I get so many blessings that the least I can do is pass them on as best I can. But anyway, Bill, we're glad to have you here. Sarnart76, the artwork of Bill Sarnart on Facebook. Please check it out. And Rick, I hope you're feeling better, says Charles F. Millhouse. Same with us, Rick. Send some healing vibes and prayers to Rick Bradley today. He just escaped a serious car accident, and he's alive to tell the tale, which makes us happy. We're still happy to have him. And bring Cookie home. Thank you, Bill Sarton. She's in the next room doing her thing, and we are here doing ours. But anyway, thank you, Bill, and thank you to everyone that supports Cookie and on our efforts to bring her home. I mean, she likes her job just fine, but she and I would like it better if we were under the same roof all day. Excuse me, one of the best times we've had, seriously, was during the lockdown a year ago, where we spent about 2.5 months in each other's company constantly. I mean, the only time we weren't was pretty much when we went to the bathroom, and it was great. It was great. We realized that in almost 30 years, we'd never had that much time together uninterrupted, and it did not hurt our marriage whatsoever. It may have scored me a few more minutes of life. Anyway, Eric Hawkins, morning all. Eric, good morning to you, sir. Glad you are here this morning. Remind me, I got to talk to you about something. KO contacted me. Anyway, Carl Westman says, if she thinks that jump is noise, I wonder what she thinks of almost all other music. Yeah, seriously. I think Jump is fantastic. And I have to admit, I'm a big fan of Van Hagar. I really am. I like the Sammy Hagar era. In fact, I like Gary Cherone, too. Gary Cherone has an incredible voice. And he could perform both the Sammy Hagar and the David Lee Roth catalogs very well. But I'm just sorry the fans never really gave him a chance, and he didn't continue with them. But Extreme is still rocking, so that makes me happy. And someone who makes me happy is Kelly Austin. Mwah! Good to see you, my darling. And good morning, Brian and the Nevermorians. Hope everyone is doing great today. We are now that you're here. Brian, I just wanted to let you know about a little-known movie called Jake Speed, starring Wayne Crawford, Karen Copens, John Hurt, and Dennis Christopher. I finally found this gem on Amazon on DVD. It's an underappreciated and unknown movie that pays a true homage to the dime store pulp novels such as Remo Williams, Mac Bolan, and more. If you've never seen it, check it out. I saw it long time ago. But yeah, thank you for reminding me about that. I'm gonna have to see if it's like on Amazon, or not Amazon, but YouTube. See if somebody's playing it on YouTube. But yeah, I love the Mac Bolan's and the Remo Williams stuff. In fact, I got to meet Don Pendleton one time. Such a wonderful, encouraging gentleman. He was fantastic and a great wordsmith. And I tell this story every now and then. When I had finished my first book, someone was asking me online on Facebook how to get started. And I said, the best way to do it is follow go to warrenmurphy.com and follow it's like a 12-step checklist of things to do to get your novel written. and and most of them ended with the advice, and comb your hair. uh, and that's where I learned the value of an elevator pitch. That's where I kind of developed the one I have for Moby Dick. And one time when I recommended this to the person, getting back to the story, um I accidentally tagged Warren Murphy. This is in the early days of tagging, and I accidentally tagged him. I didn't want to bother him, but I tagged him, and he wrote me a lovely little PM saying, "Thank you for the shout out, Ryan. I genuinely appreciate it. Good luck with your work." And oh my god, it was like a total fanboy moment. But yeah, thank you for that, Kelly. I appreciate that. That is super. And Scott Crocker says, I really want to know what she thinks about Ain't Talking About Love or Hot for Teacher or anything Diamond Dave put out. Oh my God, if she listened to Hot for Teacher, she'd probably have a stroke. You'd probably have to administer CPR. Yeah, I'm trying to think what might she like in the David Van Roth, catalog. That there's not a whole lot for her to choose from. Eric Hawkins says, Mr. Rodman mentioned Clip Studio Paint yesterday. Well, today they have announced a 50% off sale. Ooh. Brian likes that. Brian's writing a note to himself. That's Clip Studio Paint. I don't know that Cookie will need it with the program she's got. She's got like a Photoshop emulator. It is a fraction of the cost. If anyone is interested in it, please contact me. It has, and you can save it in Photoshop format. That's not to say I won't need you, Eric. Please don't think that. I may have to look into that for myself. Maybe I use Paint.net, but it is much more robust than say Microsoft Paint, and especially that Paint 3D. I find that unworkable. It is god awful for someone, at least someone at my level. But for some reason, I can use Paint.net, which is a little more fancy. It's not up to Canva, but it's certainly much more versatile than MS Paint. In fact, that's what I used to make our card for Comic Book Spectrum. But yeah, Brian Rodman was a fantastic guest last night on Clever Tile Painting. Please check out last night's episode. We've had a series of great episodes. I am very pleased with that show. It is super. And Ted Davies says, yes, Ted Talks Timepieces Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. Plus Ted and Carl's Cigar Show at 11. Ted Rules Thursday morning. And on old TV shows, yes, they're going to talk about cigars and how they appear on old TV shows. And you can check that at Ted Davies Artistry. And while you're there, you can set a reminder to have you notified for the show when it's about to come on. And YouTube is pretty good about that. Not 100%, but Facebook is, if you know what I mean. But Ted Davies Artistry, and please give that page a like while you are there. Ted is currently at 188 subscribers, but we're going to refresh that screen. And he's still at 188 subscribers. Let's see if we can get him to 200 today. Can 12 of you please, for the love of humanity, for the love of Ted, for the love of Carl and cigars and timepieces and alcohol on Fridays, yeah. Ted does a lot of great interview shows and a lot of great lifestyle shows that I'm told I'm the head of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. I don't know where anyone got that crazy idea, but I love the fact that we offer so many different things. From Heather, or Heather Ellen, and to Ted, to Carl, to Michaela, to Amy, to see if we get everybody else in here. I don't forget anyone. Joe Dog and Skunk Rocker and Nick Tockert, of course. What a great show he does. And even me. We all bring a lot of variety. It's like a real network. It's not the same thing. It's not an echo chamber. And even better, we don't do politics or religion. That's kind of an unspoken thing between all of us. And but anyway, please tune into our network. And please check out our Facebook page. Here we go. Making sure I know where everything is now that I had to reload everything. Please check it out. There is a schedule for what we do here at the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, and we hope that you will find some shows you enjoy and want to subscribe to. And please check out most of our hosts. I think almost all of us have YouTube pages, and we'd love to grow them. I, of course, being no exception. So please check us out, and check out Ted Davies tomorrow at 10 and at 11 with Carl Witzman. All right. And morning from the desk of a small press publisher, Joe D. McPhee. It's good to see you as always, my friend. And I saw something you did with Varian Grant the other day. I have that queued up in my other computer. I'm going to watch that today. That looked really interesting. And speaking of really interesting, there's Keisha Acuff. Good morning, beautiful aliens. Well, not to you, my sweet extraterrestrial myself. I'm glad to see you. And nice, the Eric. And Scott Cracker says, I mean, in all honesty, if Jump is offensive to her, let me put on some Slipknot or Ministry. Or hell, let's get crazy. Little John and the East Side Boys. I say put up a few of the choice songs from the Dead Kennedys or Jello Biafra, I think, would probably push her soul into the next world, and not in a pleasant way. The Skullcracker, she'll be clutching her pearls, her purse, her Bible, and her chest all at the same time. I could see that happening, and that's something that we don't encourage, damaging other human beings. But in this case, since they don't like Van Halen, I'm not above it. Anyway, the Rising Tide Broadcast Network tells you, please go to this page. That is the page for Ted Davies Artistry. We'd like to see him get 200 subscribers before this show is over in about an hour from now. We'll shoot for that and hope for noon. Anyway, Pops Van Zandt says, Comic Talk at 264. We all are growing. That is what Rising Tide's about, Pops, and you know it. And you are a definite big part of that. You really are. And Nicholas Tucker says, Brian, you are never alone. There is no one in these chats who won't answer your call. You do what you need to do. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. I did. And we'll have that talk some Friday. We really will. I don't know about this Friday, but soon, man. I miss you, man. I really do. I mean, I went out to see Michaela Jade on Saturday. She was in Peoria, Illinois. That's like 3 hours away from me. And we took, and this is great, Nick. We took of course, 41 that runs by your domicile, took it on up to 24 in Kingsland, I think it is, Kingsland, Indiana, wherever the traffic light is, and got on 24, and that took us directly to the mall. 24 veers south once you get over the Peoria River, but we kept going straight on 150, and it took us directly to the mall that Michaela was at. FYI, if you ever need to know that. Hashtag map fun for Brian. But no, we saw her there, but we also got the blessing of seeing so many close friends like Lonnie and Jessica Johnson, who still have some tables left for Heroes for Kids Con. Please snap them up before they're all gone. It's a great event. Also, what was it? We also saw David E. Laker, dear friend of ours. I've known this guy since college, and we're still friends. And we're still editing the Sandestein audiobook to make it palatable and wonderful for your ears. But Nick, I know things like this teach me I am not alone. It's not imposter syndrome. I have done many things by myself, and just to get serious here for a minute, bringing down the room. I've had basically reasons to just keep a lot of stuff inside. And, this is the stuff I let you guys see, and to handle my problems by myself, because there have been times when I had no one to turn to. But I am blessed to have a group of dear, dear friends here who amaze me with their generosity. And believe me, I accept it gratefully, because I am going to need some help. I am going to need some help here. Anyway, Ted Davies says, thanks, Brian, for the shout out. Let's get Ted above 200 today. We will refresh his page frequently. Please check out Ted Davies Artistry on YouTube. This guy really deserves. We got one new subscriber. Thank you, whomever it was. Please, everyone, if you get a chance, whenever you watch this show, if you're watching on the rerun, we so appreciate you. But please go and check out Ted Davies. He's got some great material. And Bill Sargent says, the bird's the word when you sign up for Cindy Kep's nice and nifty newsletter by clicking on CKOEPP.com. You'll be glad you did. That is serious. That is serious truth there, Bill Sargent. Seriously, I love reading her newsletter. In fact, we were talking about last night on Clever Title Pending. Both Brian Rodman and I are fans of Cindy Kemp. I love her writing. I love her personally because I've met her in person a couple times. She is a darling, and her work is great. She is putting out a brand new comic book based on her novel Animal Eye that it's going to be fantastic. And I am Charles, says Rick Bradley. Thank you. I'm getting ready to head on over and grab my prescriptions in a bit. Bring some for the rest of us, would you please? Joe McKeel, good to see you. Can't stay long, Dr. Day. Y'all behave. Well, we'll behave badly. That's what we generally do. Joe Dog, good luck. Keep me posted, all right? And YouTube, Comics and More New Jersey has shared this video on YouTube. Thank you so much, Comics and More. Check out Heather Ellen Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central for, I want to get this right. That's why I always look at my notes. Comics, Chaos, and Sass. Well, Heather Ellen brings all of it in spades. She is a great way to end your weekend here on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. And Heather, we love you. We really do. And we also love this guy here. Hey, Brian. Hey, Glenn B. Fleming. How you doing? Glenn's got a brand new issue of Comics Unlimited, number 5 out, with an article by Joe D. McPhee. I'm so excited. I'm going to pick it up this week. It is a great magazine if you love the history of comics. And, once we get our act together on Comic Book Spectrum, I would like to bring other people in as guest commentators. And Joe, you're on my list. So are you, Glenn. So anyway, Pops Van Zandt says the visuals are now too much for an old man, Michaela. That's what separates the old men from the young at heart, Pops. I am ready. And go check out Rick Bradley's Amazon author page at that address there, bit.ly/R Bradley. There you'll find his works, The Nightmare Collective, Marvin's Night Out, Tales of the Weird and Strange, and Pulp Reality #1. Definitely check out the work of Rick Bradley. He is up and coming. He's awesome. Amy Hale says, good morning, everyone. Mwah. Amy, how you doing? I'm so looking forward to seeing Susan Tisdale on your show tomorrow night at 8 p.m. That is going to be fun. Folks, you think this network has got sass. I'm serious. I'm so proud of the shows here. You have no idea. I don't know why you people even associate with me. But Amy's show is awesome. And I finally, I finished yesterday afternoon, the one with Terry Maggard. That was so much fun. Terry Maggard is an incredible writer, and check out his show, last week's show on Creative as Hail. Also, please sign up for Amy's YouTube channel. She could use some love too. And Ted Davies Artistry from YouTube saying 10 watching over 7 likes. Make it happen, people. Seriously, thank you very much. Somebody's got to do the work of the Dark Mistress when she's not here. And Comics Unlimited number 5 is on Amazon now, says Glenn B. Fleming. Who would know? He knows this stuff. He knows all. He tells it all when he can promote. And I don't blame him. Hashtag always promote. Anyway, please check it out. And check out Glenn B. Fleming's catalog on his Amazon sales page. It is amazing. So many great books. And there he is, the man of the 2 hours last night, Brian Rodman, fresh sort of from Clever Title Pending. And check out the Dastardly Dingoes. Please check it out. And good morning, my fellow Brian and Nevermorians. What a blast it was, brother. I had so much fun. Last night was so much fun, my friend. It was from Australian cow spine licking to digital Brian's kissing. Now you all need to watch that episode. And it's a good thing, Brian, that they didn't see the after show. That's all I can say. It was a wonderful time to be had. Oh, yes. And thank you for allowing yourself to be had. So if you missed it, my goodness, do yourself a favor and catch the replay after this wonderful broadcast. Now let's hump the humps. Oh, yeah. My baby humps. Anyway, please check it out. And John B. Pica, good to see you, brother. Hey there, friends and foes. Happy New Comics Day. I know I'm since I used to pick up my comics on Thursday, but since we started Comic Book Spectrum, I get excited again to go back to the comic shop and see what's there. Now, I have a real small pull list anymore. A lot of contemporary comics just don't send me anymore. But it's just so exciting to go there, John. And, you kind of helped me kindle that. And I appreciate that, brother. Please check out Back of the Cereal Box Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. And check out John's budding network here. John, I'm so proud of you for making the move there. I know it just kind of happened, but seriously, that's Moxie, man. That's Moxie. And I hope you are as glorified. I hope you get the glory of your your tribe as I have for mine. I can't do this without them. I really can't. Carl Whitson said, as Nick said, you are never alone. Just look out the window. I know. You're only an hour away, Carl. Believe me, and I appreciate your support too, man. This disengagement from Geek Insider has not been easy. It has, in a lot of ways, it has not been pleasant, but it was inevitable. And I'm grateful it happened when it did, because I am in a lot of ways ready for it. I want to give this my part of the network a unique identity. And this way, I don't have anything stopping me. I don't have anything slowing me down. So anyway, thank you to everyone who has supported this move and helped make it easy. And I will be leaning on you all heavily, trust me. So it is great. It is great. It is great to be flying solo here. It's truly, truly liberating here. And Grant Lanker says, the Miss and I are watching you on the big screen. Well, hello there, Mr. and Mrs. Lanker. Anyway, glad to see you both. Wanda, Angie, and great salute to you, Grant. Grant, how you doing on Beowulf #1? It's a Kickstarter currently available on Amazon. He has made his goal, but now he's going into those stretch goals. Let's help him get there. And from the desk of a small press publisher, I will need to watch the recorded Comic Spectrum. Wanted to see how the panel handled that topic from issue #2. We are going to be broadcasting it tomorrow night, Joe, and we would welcome your participation. In the chat. Like I said, I don't have the technical things down yet that I want to. But once I do, Joe, I'd like to tap you and several other people on here to maybe, have a guest panelist every now and then. I probably would step back, and there will be some weeks when we can't get everyone on for whatever reason. And so, we will definitely need some backups. So Joe, I respect the hell out of you, and I love what you have to say. You're top of the list, man. But seriously, and check out from the desk of a small press publisher Saturday nights at 10 p.m. He always has a great interview. Joe is not just a great artist. I got to get me some Amazonia. When we're allowed to get out, I want to find where you are, and I'm going to get some Amazonia directly from you. So you can sign them. I love autographed books. But anyway, please check out from the desk of a small press publisher and give them a subscription. You'll be glad you did. Carl Westman says, some morning I'm going to have to actually drive over there and stand in the street looking at his house. Probably dressed as a clown and going, so, oh my God, no, Carl. Sometime, we have got to schedule us. Once things are a little hectic here right now, but I have not forgotten. We need to get 9 Irish. You, me, Donna, and Cookie, because we like it. So anyway, this has not been forgotten. It is merely postponed. And once I get my shots, I'm, definitely, you all can feel as safe around me as you can possibly imagine, which is not much. But anyway, Brian Rahman, and thank you to all who like the Dastardly Dingoes podcast Facebook page and on YouTube. You guys rock. Yeah, definitely, folks. A lot of us now have YouTube pages that we're trying to grow. Christian Basil is rocketing his way to 1,000. I'd like to hit 1,000 sooner than later, because it means we can spread your message out a little wider. And I'm grateful for everyone who has signed up. We actually have had 463 people when last I checked on my Facebook page, and I'm grateful for each and every one of you. We hope you enjoy what you see there, because we're going to expand the catalog as we get along the road here. And Skullcracker says, you ain't ever alone, not in New York City, you ain't. Damn, there's no roach emoji. Now I'm sad. Don't be sad, Skunk, be happy. You got your old route, you're having a good morning, and you get to eat on time. Dude, it don't get no better than this. And Amy Hale, yeah, I'm sad that it's postponed again, but I understand why. Yeah, I do too. I never got that email. I don't know what happened. So, Amy, if you think of it, could you forward it to me? at my email address. I just, it may show up today. I don't know. Hotmail has not been really kind to me. So as of late, I don't, about 10% of the time I don't get messages that I know have been sent. So anyway, Ted Davies, great show last night. Brian times 2. That's right. Double your pleasure, double your fun. You had 2 Brians for the price of 1. Yeah, wow, I didn't realize I did that. Ratmaster BK. Anyway, it's in the house. But no, it was great. I like the episodes. Like we've got one coming up with I have my book in the other room. Andy Bove, Megan Conmick, and Teresa Dunn. We're going to be interviewing some people that don't get on the air much, and I think Megan and Andy haven't done it before at all. Teresa's done a few. In fact, Teresa's got her own talk show now, Thursdays at 6 p.m. Please check out her profile page on Facebook. And I don't remember who she's having. Teresa, if you're listening, please tell us who you're having this week. But she's getting booked up here, and I'm proud of her for just trying. And Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt from YouTube says, do not miss the premiere of Simply Sugar and Pops, Friday, March 26th, pre-con kickoff show with Simon Pothier, Chris Evans. Oh, you got Captain America? Hot damn. And myself. Not that Chris Evans. Damn. Pops, I thought, man, you are connected. Anyway, check out Pops. The Pops magic will happen this Friday, and this weekend is CromCon all weekend long. Please check out what he does. And Grant Riker says it's supposed to be close to 60 in PA today. Yeah, I think we're having another warm spot. I think yesterday you got to 70 here. Now we're going to start having rain. I noticed in the last hour it's gone quite overcast outside, and tomorrow's supposed to be a torrent. So, and I don't mean file sharing. So anyways, everyone who's in this weather, please stay safe, all right? And Comics Talk with Pop Van Zandt on YouTube says we are going to start CromCon 12 weekend with a bam! All right, getting his inner emerald on. All right, good to see that. And Brian Rodman, always good to see you. And last night, Robin and I looked through the backers for Memoirs of an Angel #7 on Kickstarter, and there are quite a few Nevermorians who jumped in there early in our campaign. Thank you all once again for your aggressive support. It is much appreciated. Now let's hit this next stretch goal and break 100 backers. And Brian's well on his way to getting $3,000. Which is like correct my math, 150% of his goal. But every time he hits another $500, he's going to add another goodie. And not only that, he's taking care of the digital people too that have helped get him there, which makes me happy. So check out Brian Rodman's Memoirs of an Angel right now on Kickstarter, all right? And Rick Bradley, he's all banged up, but he's never too banged up to promote. Take a lesson from this. Poor Marvin, he decided to drive across the country to get away from it all. Relax. After stopping in Eden Falls for some grub, his car breaks down, now pursued in the surrounding woods by an ancient evil known only as the Judge. Marvin will try to survive the night. Will he? Will he? Find out in Rick Bradley's Marvin's Night Out when you check him out on Amazon right there. His very first book, his very first novel. This is so cool. And speaking of so cool, there's Bill Sartin finished another sketch commission last night and then briefly available for new commission requests. I'm using PayPal for a safe and secure payment option. You can PM Bill Sartin for details by checking on Facebook's Sartin Art 76, the artwork of Bill Sartin, and check out all of his other far out and groovy things at the artwork of Bill Sartin, where everything old is new again. Beautiful, Bill. Glad you're getting the work. So happy. And largest ocean liner at the time you were in school, you mean the Titanic? No, I meant the Santa Maria. No, I was in college by then. Never mind. Oh, hey, I'm proud to I've gotten up to 65. You kidding? Let's see, and I'll tell you right now, in about 4 years, I'm going to be unbearable. Burn, Eric, burn. That's exactly what I was thinking, Trevor Hawkins. Or was it Noah's Ark? No, when I was in school, the Earth hadn't completely cooled yet. And speaking of cool, there's Cindy Kemp. Good morning. How in the world are you? Mwah. I am better now that you're here, Cindy. CKOEPP.com. Please check out that great newsletter. Seriously, she does a fantastic newsletter every month. And she also goes on to say, and you too need to see a Nazi get a slug to the mug. That's right, by God. All you good Americans and right-thinking people should get a copy of the original Skyman, Battles of Master of Steam, available currently on Amazon with an introduction by comics icon Roy Thomas. Google him, and you will be amazed at what he's done. And he was kind enough to write a foreword for me. Oh, God, I love that foreword so much. Anyway, thank you, Cindy. Please, thank you so much. You are amazing. And then you can write a review for it if you go to Amazon, and there's my Amazon celebrity page. Yes. Yes. And please also don't forget, Cindy Cap has a Patreon account. Look for CKOEPP on Patreon. And please, just even $1 a month. You don't know how much that is encouraging. I picked up a new $1 a month person, and I love them every bit as much as I could anyone else. They are wonderful people, and it means a lot to us. And you can also check me out on Amazon, and for my other, that's Amanda Tockert. That's even cooler. Check out Coy Wolf and other great projects. And this is a good place to for big robots and bladed weapons with Nicholas Tockert. Please check out his work. He's got a brand new book out on bladed weaponry that you will need to own. And then you can drop in on the Dastardly Dingoes and listen to their podcast while you're making your way to Amazon to check out Amanda and Nick Tockert's work. And you drop in on them at YouTube. Please subscribe to their YouTube channel. And good morning to you, Teresa Dunn. Mwah. Good morning, all. Sorry I'm late, but I had to make sure my hubby and son were on their way, one to dialysis and the other to work. Excellent. Keith got a job. Oh, that's right. Keith was getting a job. That's great. So I am by my lonesome for a while. Okay. The party is at Teresa's right now, apparently. So let's give Albert a surprise and see if Teresa can clean up the place from all the, all the paraphernalia once hubby comes back. But anyway, Teresa, glad you're here, darling. And check out that Amazon location there. I bet that's for one of your books. Looking forward to. Everyone should look forward to that. It's a great book of poetry. And Willow Schuyler says, good morning, my people, sneaking in here for a look-see. Well, Willow, we're giving you a look-see right back, sweetheart. And we're glad you're here. And again, thank you for your ongoing support of our network. Willow, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, especially right now. It is a great help to us. And it is part of the rising tide, where a rising tide raises all ships. And Willow believes it and lives it, and she is the information director. I can't remember your exact title for the Hanging with Web Show Network, and thank you to Garrett Palmington Murray for ongoing support of our programs. And Willow, thank you for including us with your promotion. And we share the love. We are proud to be friends with those guys, and we appreciate all the ways you show your friendship. We really are. And Cindy Keppen, you can do magic. Yes. I would sing it, but I'm forgetting the melody. But anyway, Cindy Kepp, you can do magic if you check out John B. Pica on Amazon. Also check him out on Patreon under Impossibilists. And also go to johnpica.com and check out everything he does. He is organized. And speaking of organized, there is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Great show last night, as always. Arise, Wednesday Morris Monster. Arise, hump, hump, hump. Across tide that rises. Sail forward in your YouTube ways. And also, the Jade of the Michaelas eats subscriber dust. Love you, Michaela. Or was that an old saying? Love you, mean it. And if there's follow-up, it's a ways. So let's keep the suspense going here. And I'm not hanging around much this AM. Open enrollment. Yeah, John works with people trying to get their medical stuff in order. May God be with you, John. I know it's got to be rough on you. But anyway, please check out johnbpica.com or johnpica.com, excuse me, and check out all the amazing stuff he does. And Cindy Cap says, and the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS is a good place to go. Yes, it is. It's the only show that's bigger on the inside. And he had a great show last night about a collector card game that is it's complex how to define it. It is nothing that you can hold in your hand like a piece of paper. It is all based on the algorithms behind cryptocurrency. So if you're a fan of Bitcoin, this is the show for you. It's a collectible card game, kind of like Magic the Gathering. but it is Doctor Who, and, I got to go back and watch the whole show. It looked like fun. It's a very cool thing. And the thing is, with the algorithms, it still holds the collectability factor. So, like certain Magic cards are worth more than others, just like baseball cards. If you have a Michael Jordan rookie card, for instance, it's going to be worth more than, say, somebody else who's been playing in the NBA, warming the bench most of the time at the same time. So, like I said, it is completely collectible and looks intriguing. I'm going to check out the rest of the episode. Didn't get a chance to watch it all yesterday. And plus, ça change, plus c'est la même chose, Neil Peart. Oh, okay. Fortunately, I think I got most of that because I did take 2 years of high school French, although my French teacher would never know it. I still keep in touch with my French teacher, Mr. Trahan. I'm delighted to find him on Facebook, and he friended me, and probably wonders what the hell happened to me, but I was an unpromising high school student. But I in fact, my junior high science teacher, Mr. Spicer, checks in on me too. That's really good to know. I really enjoyed having classes with these two gentlemen because they encouraged learning. And I was this kid who, grew up in a small town, knew there was a larger world and wanted to know more about it. And these were two of my teachers that really helped me grow as, intellectually. And I really am grateful to them both to this day. And funniest music I've ever heard, a totally instrumental version of Welcome to the Jungle. I heard a music version of that song one time. It was amazing. It's funny how, some songs that you think should never be turned into music are. I heard, and this I know I got skunk at a green room one time when I mentioned that I heard Pulling Muscles from a Shell by Squeeze, which is this the music was very upbeat and still had that, tasty bass line on there. But I'm listening to it at a business meeting in Peoria, and I'm like, that's Squeeze. Wait a minute. And then the first time I really noticed music, I was in a big name store, which is no longer around, in Urbana, Illinois, at the mall there. And I'm riding up the escalator to the second floor. I remember this distinctly. And I'm listening to this song is finally hitting my conscious mind. And I'm like, wait a minute. What song is that? And I recognized it was an upbeat, peppy version of A Day in the Life by the Beatles from the Sgt. Pepper album, which is anything but peppy and upbeat. The only thing they didn't have was that extended chord at the end. I was like, how could music do that chord? I'm listening, and I just stopped in my, when I got to the top of the elevator, I stepped off and just listening to this thing, and everybody's thought, is something wrong with this guy? Is he homeless? And I was waiting for that long dun at the end, but it didn't happen. That was okay. And Pops fans, and Comic Talk says, the more that things change, the more they stay the same. That is so. In a lot of ways, that's very true, but change is also one of the few constants in life. And we're going through some changes right now with our new independence, and we're looking forward to it. We hope you do too. And check out a book or few and a podcast with Amy Hale there. Yeah, she's going to be talking to Susan Tisdale tomorrow night at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central. Check it out. You're going to love Susan. You cannot help but love Amy and John. And that's a fantastic show. And Eric Hawkins prefers Van Hagar too. Yeah, I like it. There was a lot less of that look at my groin preening that Diamond Dave did a lot, but he did it so well. I think Dave, David Lee Roth, is one of the best frontmen in all of rock and roll. I really do believe it. He knows how to work up a crowd. And there are a number of them that are really fantastic, like Noddy Holder or Freddie Mercury. I don't, Freddie Mercury was in a class of his own, but yeah, I'm kind of partial to Van Hagar myself. And that Aunt Donna just loves spending 24 hours a day with me. That's why you guys have separate rooms, right? But how could she not love spending 24 hours a day with you, Uncle Carl? I say it. I say it. And Eric gets it. Yeah. And hey, Willow from Carl Witzman. And part 3 is coming soon from Amazon. Michaela Jade has got her brand new book. It is in the editing phase and she's naked doing it. Anyway, Grant Lankard says the craziest in-store music I ever heard was the time I was walking through Sheetz, a convenience store / gas station in Western PA. And I heard Seek and Destroy by the Stooges. Oh my God. Wow. That's awesome. That is fantastic. And, occasionally I will hear Lust for Life by Iggy Stooge. It's just such a wonderful, wonderful opening with the Hunt brothers on bass and drums, respectively. Just really a lot of respect for those guys. They also played those instruments on the first 2 Todd Rundgren solo albums. Yes, they did. And go now, says Brian Rodman, and check out For Goodness Sake Volume 3 by the amazing Kay Lynn Smith. She launched at 10 a.m. with a goal of $6,500, and she's already almost there. Fantastic. The hype is real, folks. I read the first 2 volumes, and boy, are they hilarious and just great storytelling. You can even catch up on the entire story for a reasonable price. For goodness sakes, it's about a guy named Thatcher who turns more demonic every time he's a turd, which is often, and the free-spirited Rain who's trying to cure him of this curse. That's a beautiful concept. I gotta check that out. But they soon learn there is more to this than what they had thought, that there's a deeper, darker secret that binds it all together. You don't want to miss this. Seriously, check out that Kickstarter. Don't forget Brian Rodman's Kickstarter. He is one of us. Please check him out. And also, please, this morning we're pimping for Ted Davies Artistry on YouTube. He would like to get up to 200 subscribers, and we've gotten a little response so far. We'd love to see you show some love to the man in the fedora there. And please check out his YouTube channel. All right. And good morning, Carl from Willow. And OU8212 Van Halen rules. Oh yeah. I mean, they've never done anything I didn't like. All 3 of their lead vocalists I have appreciated. And I really have to say that as a showman, David Lee Roth is terrific. And I saw something he did. It's on YouTube. I want to say it was for Jimmy Kimmel Live or something, but they were going to perform remotely live, and something happened with their sound system. It wasn't their fault, but they realized it wasn't. Or no, excuse me, it wasn't the sound system. No, David Lee Roth was doing the Roger Daltrey thing with his cane instead of a microphone, and he hit himself in the head and was bleeding profusely, and he's still performing like nothing hurt him. And I think during the song, you see Eddie Van Halen coming up to him during a part where Dave isn't singing, and kind of like, check your head, dude. And I think it was Eddie Van Halen who called off the song and said, get some help for that. And they patched him up, and he told the crowd, he said, guys, thank you for your patience. This is going to be recorded and then edited later. To make up for my accident, we're going to play a full half-hour set for you guys for being so patient and so cool with us. Who had to do that? No, they did it themselves. So I'm all over that. Anyway, Cindy Cap says there's Poetic Justice from Two-Fisted Teresa Dunn. Check her out on Amazon. She's awesome. Speaking of awesome, there is Ryan Permisson. Always good to see him, my nerd culture friend. Good morning, Nevermorians. How are you? Ryan, tell us how you are, my friend. Check out the latest episode of the podcast here, Talking Movies, on Anchor FM, episode 89, because 88 just weren't good enough. You know what I'm saying? They get better and better as they go. And I quote, live Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Join us when we talk with podcaster and movie trivia Schmodown competitor Amaru Moses at that address there. Check it out. I love that. And I quote live. That is a great, great show. And check out last week when our own Cindy Kep was the amazing guest. Everyone conducted themselves well, and I will be on that show eventually. And Willow Schuyler says, tuned into Back of the Cereal Box tonight as John is joined by a team of Marvelites to discuss WandaVision. Thank you, Willow Schuyler. That is awesome. Willow's been doing some takeovers of some shows, and hot damn. Willow, I have sensed, honestly, I've sensed a progression in your ability to broadcast. You are awesome, and you're getting better with every broadcast. I am indescribably proud of you. And Ryan Permisson says, subscribe to the channel today for great nerdy content, and he appreciates that. Go to Nerd Culture Channel on YouTube, and please give that a subscribe while you're subscribing to Ted Davies Artistry, and say mine too, at the Brian K. Morris Rising Tide Publications page. And Bill Sarn says, every time I hear Van Halen's Jump, I remember it being the opening theme for the early 80s WGN Channel 9 Chicago Cubs broadcast with Harry Carey and Steve Stone. Oh my God, that golden days, man, golden days. I loved Harry Carey. And thank you, Ryan, for sharing this show, man. You are the best. You really are. And I've been using Photoscapex. Haven't checked that out. I did Canva, but I'm not competent enough in that yet. That's why I, have to go hat in hand to my talented friends and say, please help me. And Amy Hale, if anyone wants to learn Photoshop like GIMP, GIMP is an excellent program. It's free and will let you see what it's like. It can't do anything Photoshop can do, but it's an inexpensive option. That and Canva is pretty good too. I think for the type of graphics I wanted to do, I had trouble with their lettering for some reason. Now, Cookie, I'd have to get the name of it, but she has a Photoshop emulator that is like, it's pocket change. It is great. Oh, and JW Goulet, thank you for sharing this show. Ryan Permisson and JW Goulet and Comics in More New Jersey, thank you to everyone who has shared this show. We genuinely appreciate that. We really do. And Willow Schuyler says, I take over Back of the Cereal Box on Saturday for an all-woman discussion on fandom, and you will even see me fangirl with my panel of femme fatales. Oh, yeah. Baby, dear Penthouse Forum. But anyway, no, seriously. No, Will, honestly, I think it's a great show. John's a great host, but I'm really looking forward to that. I was raised by a feminist, and I like seeing shows like that where the sausage and testosterone is not to be seen, and you can talk about us freely, and we hopefully will learn a lesson from the end of it. So, but no, I'm excited by that. I really am, and I would welcome more shows like that. Wouldn't mind putting one on, and producing, not really being on the show. You guys get enough of me as it is, probably too much. And Ryan Permisson is always looking for awesome people to be guests on, and I quote, heard this was the right place. You sign up at Ryan's Nerd Culture calendar there. Check it out, please do. Or contact Ryan directly and see if you can get on his show. All right. And Rick Bradley said, when I started hearing Welcome to the Jungle in supermarkets, my back started to go out. Blasted old age. Get off my lawn. Oh, you young people. Anyway, you get John B. Bica for anyone interested. Back of the Cereal Box Facebook page. We have a full house to discuss the WandaVision series. Full spoilers. Excellent. I love spoilers. And I'm taking suggestions on topics to cover on my YouTube channel, says Michaela Jade. So send your suggestions to Michaela, please. Because she has a great show on Friday nights at 7. Getting yours right, too. Michaela Jade's Tidbits and Squiggles. Please check that show out. It's awesome. And 16 watchers on YouTube, 11 likes and 5 lurkers. Smash the like and share. Thank you, Comics Pop. Pops fans, and I appreciate you, man. I really do. And we'll try to share the CromCon this weekend for you, okay, on our pages. But anyway, please check out CromCon this weekend with Pops Van Zandt. Lots of great talk about comics. And everyone, please, like I say, whether it's my page or any of the ones you see on here, please like the page. If you're on Facebook, please like the video if you've enjoyed any part of it so far. And please like the page that you're watching it on, because it's a good thank you to your hosts. It's greatly appreciated. And like I said, if you're watching us on YouTube, please give that thumbs up a hit, and please subscribe, because we got all kinds of cool stuff going on. CityCat podcasts everywhere. Check them all out. There are just so many. I know. Christian Basil was saying the other day that since we all have some sort of broadcast presence now, so many of us in the Nevermorian community, that every time he tunes in, it's not really like a show per se, but it's like a family reunion, which I'm digging that concept. I really am. And Angie Dudas calling in on YouTube. Mwah, thank you so much. Good morning. We are watching you on our television on this bright, beautiful morning. Well, I hope it stays bright and beautiful for you and Grant. And I hope you guys do have a great hump day today. It is so good to have you here, Angie, as always. And your husband, too, who is Grant Lankard. All right. And Nicholas Tucker says Paint.net is an absolute dreamboat for folks who just want a simple, accessible app. It really is. And $5 and you own it forever. Plus, you get all kinds of free updates on it. It is open source, like OpenOffice. And it does what I need it to do. That's all. I can't really wax any more eloquent than that about it. It is a fine utility. Like I said, it is far more robust than the old Microsoft Paint. And I absolutely detest Microsoft Paint 3D. That I find that almost unworkable. And when not because it's so complex, because it is just doesn't work for me, for my skill set, such as it is. But Paint.net it rocks. It really does. John B. Pica and all the things at johnpica.com. You need to check all of his things. It is awesome. And Grant Lankard says Beowulf is about $150 away from $3,000. That's great, man. It may be far-fetched to think I could get there today. No, it's not, man. You got to believe. But I've been setting a lot of far-fetched goals and achieving them. Just saying, Grant, just saying. Believe and you shall receive. It's not just an axiom. I'm telling you. Law of attraction, brother. Seriously, start visualizing hitting that goal. All right. And how you're going to feel. How you're going to feel when those numbers start to climb again. Please check out Beowulf. Go to monarchpublishing.net and sign up for Grant's monthly newsletter. It is fantastic. It really is. The man's put a lot of forethought into it, and it shows. It really does. So please check it out. It's a great, and you also, when you sign up for his newsletter, you also get a sample of his other work, including the opening to Beowulf. And it's good stuff. You will dig it. And sign up for Rising Tide's newsletter, then go sign up for Cindy Caps before noon to see the Animal Eyes new cover art. Ooh, we're getting close, aren't we? Yeah, Cindy sends out notices every now and then with looks at her brand new comic book based on her novel Animal Eye. One, go to Amazon or bearpublications.com and get a copy of Animal Eye. It is fantastic. And also check out the art from her comics. Sign up for her newsletter. Her newsletter is amazing. I think we all agree. Of all of our newsletters, Cindy's is the best. It really is. She puts a lot of care and a lot of love into it. We all do. But Cindy's, there's just a magic about it. It makes you feel better after you read it. Michaela Jade says, Keisha will be my first reader interview to happen on my YouTube channel. Well, excellent. That's beautiful. Well, if you ever want, a grizzled old veteran of the self-publishing trade, as Mark Coker would call me, actually grizzled. He didn't say grizzled, but I talked to him at the last PenCon 2 years ago, and he said, well, I see you every year. How long have you been doing self-publishing? I said, since 2012. He said, you realize you're, and at the time it was only like about 6 years or so into 6 or 7 years into my my self-publishing, and he goes, you realize that makes you one of the grand old men around here of publishing? So the only one here has probably been that longer as me. And I'm like, yeah, I realize that. I'm going to get it right one of these days too. But anyway, if you need another interview subject, although people are probably sick of seeing me, I volunteer. And Cindy Cap says, Sarnard 76 is the best place for vintage cartooniness and comics and more New Jersey on YouTube. Good morning, everyone. Mwah! Everyone, please, that is Heather Ellen, and we love you, Heather, so much. And please check out Comics and More on YouTube and give that channel a like if you would. And Photo P isn't bad either, says Joe Bachman. Good basic outline app for creating icons and stuff. Oh, now that's useful. That would be fun. But I normally use like Paint.net for like my my show cards. And I've got to apologize to Brian Rodman. Setting up for our show last night, I was in the middle of my liberation, and didn't do all the things that we could, but the numbers are good starting out. So anyway, back in the cereal box, we just added one more to Ted's channel. Thank you, John. Thank you, my friend. And Joe Bachman, I don't have a creative bone in my body when it comes to creating icons, though. I'm in the negatives on that, Joe. I get that. Cindy Cap says Patreon is a great place to connect with your favorite artistic sorts. I'm getting ready to plan the next serial or novel to share on her own page. Check out Cindy Capes, rather. I'm thinking of capes all of a sudden. I want a cape with me. Anyway, to share on her page, you already check out Freelance Words 1-5 with chapter 6 coming soon. That's been pretty cool. Good work. You can already read Brian's Terrors and John's The League of Impossibles and Brian's Memoirs of an Angel and more stuff. Please check out. A lot of our friends here are on Patreon. Here is a sample of them. These are my Patreon people who let me get that taken down. Cindy Cap, Clyde Hall, Amy Hale, Kelly Austin, Brian Rodman, Jeffrey Hayes, Tina McInnery, John B. Pica, Brian Hawkins, the Eric Hawkins, and Ramelian, all of whom I adore. I do. And I'm grateful to have them as part of my support platform. And if you want to support your favorite artists, check them, see if they've got a Patreon page. And like I said, for many of us, just $1 a month will get you something. Like all these people just got mentioned in my show. And we also are working on a blog entry for today. We're going to update y'all on what we've been doing the last couple days and why what we thought was a weekly blog is turning late this week. Anyways, don't forget to tip your host. Thank you, Cindy. If you want to send a one-time donation to the show that goes into the upkeep of the show, we would appreciate it. And you can do that at paypal.me/Rising Tide, capital B, capital K, capital M. And right now, I will tell you, we have some goals. Like our Patreon is paying for our solo account on StreamYard. But we would like to get a stronger computer so we can do more with graphics, and so Cookie can have something to edit film on. She's got a yearn for that. So that's what future payments will go towards. And Cindy Cap says, behave like what? Hopefully not like me. That won't win you any friends. And Rick Riley says, I know having people to turn to is a rarity. And sometimes even if you do, you feel like you'll be bothering them and that they really don't want to help. One thing I will say is I do feel like I could message many of you, my fellow Nevermorians, and they would help me in a heartbeat. The same goes to all of you from me. I love you guys and I'm thankful to have you in my life. Rick, we are thankful to have you in ours, man. You have accomplished so much in so short a time, and I'm seeing nothing but good things from you coming out. That's why you can't get into any more car crashes. I don't care what anyone says, okay? And hashtag thank you, brother, for that great message there. And hashtag bring Cookie home. We got to bring Cindy Cap home, too. We can do that. And Comics and More New Jersey can't stay long, but I just wanted to stop in, share you out, and say hi. I hope you all have an awesome day. We will now that you've been here. Thank you so much for everything. You have no idea, Heather, how much we appreciate you. And thank you for your offer of help the other day. It means a lot to me. It really does. And morning, Heather. And thanks, Heather, from Michaela Jade. And good morning, Michaela. And talk to you later. Well, have a great day, hon. Mwah. Have a great day, Heather. And Cindy Camp, if you missed last night's Clever Tile Pending, go check the rerun. We had Brian in stereo. And it was it turned shameful towards the end. So please check that episode out. And check out the week before. We had two great shows. Dan Doherty and Seth DeMoose on the monthly special, and then we had me as the interview guest in one of probably everyone says that's one of the funniest shows they've seen in ages. Poor Brian Rodman almost had a stroke from laughing. It was great. And this is how I treat my friends. Brian, here's the thing, says Nicholas Tucker. I try to be the kind of person I wish I had known in the dark days when I had no one to turn to. I suspect you do the same. Yeah, and we've had darker days than others, just like you. Don't think that we are alone lights in the dark. We have to be each other's lights, because some days that's all we've got. And Brian, I said the visual is too much. The reality completely different and inappropriate, or is it? Response. Oh, yeah. Inappropriate is what we go for. And I'd be honored to be on any of your shows, Brian. Glenn, you do me the honor by being on them. I appreciate that, brother. we're gonna make more stuff happen. And PenCon has been time warped to next year. Yeah, I know, Cindy, that's disappointing, but fortunately, we're seeing other shows pop up, and I'm hoping I'll hear back from John at QuadCon. I sent him a note via his website, but he hasn't gotten back to me yet. So, not seeking glory, just being me. Well, if Glory is out there, I want her. I've seen her. She was in the old Image Comics. I met her once at a Chicago con. She was gorgeous. Former Dallas cheerleader. Oh my God. Oh, that's something else. I'm sorry, John. Yeah, I'm not really seeking fame or fortune. Fortune would be nice. But anyway, I'd like to be famous for being fortunate. And QuaCon in Des Moines is this weekend with Cindy Kemp. She'll be there with books, dragons, and Martians. Holy cats, that's going to be so much fun. Cindy, I wish I could make it over there, but I wish you every bit of luck. Check in and post how you're doing, okay? I hope you do great. And for goodness sake, has officially met its goal at 10:40 a.m. Wow. That is great. That is the Kaylin Smith book that Brian was talking about earlier. Oh, congratulations to Ms. Smith. That is beautiful. And Joe Bachman says, time for me to hop off. Now that the iOS apps are done, it is time to create the Android versions. Yay for more coding to learn. Hey, that's growth, man. And that's good stuff. Joe, thank you very much for being here. You have a great day, my friend. And I'll be here. If you can handle that, you can handle anything, says Cindy Cap. If you handle Cindy Cap too much, though, she'll slap your face, and I don't blame her. And go Grant, go Grant, go Grant. Oh, yeah. And Skunk says, Bill Sarton, I wonder what the offended old lady would think of the Ramones. The KKK took my baby away, or beat the brat with a baseball bat. Brian, if your bank plays those songs, you may want to change banks. That's possible. And Cindy Kemp says, check out the Historical Fencing Guild on Friday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern for very much fun. It's a great show. I love that show. I mean, Nick does a super job of hosting that. He runs that place like a ringmaster of a 3-ring circus, and he is the circus as well. Anyway, Carl Westman, if you missed last night's Clever Title Pending, there's a snapshot of a tender moment in the humor group. Don't be offended. Yeah, this doesn't drive away everyone in there. Nothing will. And it's a good thing you weren't around for the after show. We kicked it up a notch. It wasn't pretty. And Scott Crocker says, you can't tell me what to do, Carl. You're not my real dad. That gives him more authority. And Brian Robin, folks, for this week's episode of the Dastardly Dingoes podcast, it is a special one. We have the Fez man, BKM. That's me. And Christian Basil of the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS on to talk about imposter syndrome. Some inspiring conversation and wise words were shared during this episode. So head on over to that address, the Dastardly Dingoes, and check it out. That was a show. Brian and I talked about that late last night. We were very proud of that show. I think something that affects too many people in the creative community, and yeah, I'm one of them, is imposter syndrome. But as Carl Witzman once wisely said, the only people who get it are the people who have genuinely accomplished something. And that has been a huge comfort to me. So I appreciate that. And talking it out helps a lot. I mean, we all struggle with it. We hesitate to put our work out there. Some people don't even put it out at all, thinking, who would ever want to read my stuff? Well, the fact is, somebody's out there, and they're waiting on you to put out your book, your comic book, your song, whatever it is. You just got to find them. That's what promotion is about. And CromCon, the last weekend of every month, trying to make it easy on you guys. Yes, tell Pops to make this a daily event. And please join me this Thursday. My guest will be author Melinda Kunst. And seriously, you may not know Melinda. I know of her through Teresa. She is a very, very inspirational author, Melinda is. She had an abusive marriage, the extent of which I can't describe here on the morning show. It gets a little graphic. She is very candid about what her husband made her change almost her very identity to fit his fantasies, but without taking her ethics and such into mind. She's a powerful speaker. And I think you're going to enjoy what her conversation with Teresa done tomorrow night at 6 p.m. on Teresa's profile page on Facebook. So please check it out. And on you guys, because I know what it is like to try to remember 1,000 people and their projects. Yeah, it's funny, Pops. I can remember everyone else's stuff, but I suck at doing my own. If it were for Cindy Kep, you'd never know that I was a writer. I'm just a funny dressed broadcaster. And we're going to try to catch up. We are so far behind, but that's because you have so many great comments. And we had another comment dump there. I hope not, Skunk. I like you and all, but yeah. This is Carl Witzman. Cindy Kep, did you know let's see, let me bam, get that out of the way there. And City Cap says, did you know that the Zon randomly decreases the prices of some books? Condemned Courier, Ursulon 2, Into the Open, and Mindstorm are on a lower than usual price. So get them today at Amazon. Do a search for Cindy Cap because she is awesome. You'll love her books. And although I have visited that area when I was younger, says Carl Witzman, and there was that pretty gal that no. And Darren Morgan. Hello, Brian. Hope all is well. Darren, good to see you, my man. And this Darren is one of the hands on the rudder of Moonlight Films. Check out their YouTube channel, a fantastic channel. They put their films on there, and when you play them, they actually get paid for it. So please check it out. And Darren, hopefully I'll be seeing you a couple Wednesdays from now on Clever Title Pending. We're going to have Ian Mayer and some people from Moonlight Films on the show. So if you know of any filmmakers or are one yourself, or just love horror movies, especially B horror movies on low budget stuff, indie films, check out what we're going to be doing a couple Wednesdays from now on Clever Title Pending. Good to see you, Darren. Mother, it's always a pleasure to have you here. And City Cap, I'm going to try to see if the publisher is game to create a digital ash can of Animal Eye issue 1. That's a super idea. Even the first half of it would be a sensational way to promote and to offer it on your website as a thank you for signing up for your amazing newsletter at ckoepp.com. And Cindy says, Back of the Stereo Box is on at Saturdays at 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. It's true. Legend of Traveling TARDIS has just reached 666 YouTube subscribers in real time. Hell hath raised in the TARDIS. So Christian is happy and content with just 666 viewers. So go ahead, Michaela. Now's your opportunity. Pass them up. And Back of the Stereo Box, why is my GoDaddy website admin dashboard in Spanish? I have no idea. That's interesting. One of the main reasons I don't deal with GoDaddy anymore. And Nerd Culture is 11 a.m. East, Central, noon on Saturday, noon Eastern. Great show. Ryan does such a super job on it. I mean that. Monday Madness, March 22nd, ladies night. Cindy, Michaela, Heather, open invite anytime throughout the evening. Starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be awesome. That is something to look forward to. You two, Willow and Teresa. There you go. And Jeff Goulet. Brian, sorry I'm late, but I made it. Jeff, glad to have you here. Hope your morning's going well. Glad to see you, sir. And Michaela just got a new sub, 315, baby. And Michaela says, hi, Jeff. Yes, welcome, Jeff Goulet, a newcomer to the Nevermorians. And this Saturday a.m., Willow Schuyler takes over Back of the Stereo Box with Confession of a Geek Girl. That will be so much fun. And I could do that, Pops. Yeah, Michaela, hang out with Pops. He's a good guy. He's a good host. And I love showing up at his shows. And hey, Michaela. And the Legend of Traveling TARDIS, Back of the Stereo Box. Okay. You can't go on there, Christian. You can't. You have issues. Comics Talk the Pops saying, sweet, Michaela. She is a darling. And Brian, what's the status of Volcana 2? Trying to add a plug here. You mean Volcana 2, the sequel to Volcana Rebirth of the Champion, available on Amazon and on Smashwords? Thank you for asking, Joe D. McPhee, from the back of a small press publisher who has great interviews every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And this Saturday will be no exception. Please subscribe and share and like. Anyway, still getting my notes together for it. Had a breakthrough in the storytelling. See, the problem is with the sequel is that it may be the first book that someone picks up in the series. So you have to fill them in on the basics of the characters and the setting while not boring the butt off of anyone who read Rebirth of the Champion. And remind me, Joe, I'll tell you what the name of the third book is. I was teasing it for a long time. Now I'm kind of on the down low about it. But the second book will be the Prometheus cover-up, where Volcana, in order to help save the world and Olympus from destruction, has to go to a land at the edge of the Norse kingdom to find the Titan Prometheus, who was said was freed from the rock, but it may not be so. Anyway, Legend of Traveling TARDIS, Cindy Kep. It has a light flicker warning for our most recent episodes. For those who have issues with strobe or flickering lights, please watch with caution. You can also listen to the show. That is very true, and thank you for that warning. And oh yes, says Trevor Hawkins, that Volcana is good reading. Yes, it is, and especially that first issue. The cover is magnificent. You'll love it. And Nick Tucker, thank you, Christian Basil, for being considerate. Yeah, seriously, Christian, that is very kind of you. There are people who have issues with flashing lights, and thank you, Christian, for that responsibility. Lots of stuff in St. Louis still closed and shows being canceled still, but in St. Charles, nothing ever closed and shows are still a thing. Yeah, Eric will be at QuadCon in St. Louis, or not St. Louis, but St. Charles very, very soon. So please check him out. And woke up, got out of bed. Did you drag a comb through your hair? Excuse me. Drag a comb through my head since the back of the cereal box. Oh, well on my way to being demonetized. Anyway, Cindy Cap, there is a Kickstarter coming for Animal Eye. Stay tuned for more info. Looking forward to that, Cindy. That's going to be great. And DLR was cool when he was 20-something, but now it's just cringy. Yeah, I can see that. He's at the age where if I were to do that sort of thing, you'd all be calling the cops on me as well. You should. And Cindy Cap says Terraform Comics is going to be releasing a new Hybrid Sons of God soon. That's right. They are. I think they're just ending their Indiegogo campaign for issue 6, and I think I pledged to that. That's going to be fun. And Jeff. Truth. Yes. Back in the Zero Box says, why is someone canceling a show in September? We will be at 70% vaccination and herd immunity by the end of May. That is from the CDC directly. That is just organizers who don't want to do it anymore. No. Back in the Cereal Box, I will say for PennCon at least, it is not them. They are committed to 2 more shows for PennCon. After that, because of the work involved and their own careers, they are getting out of the promotion. But it keeps getting pushed back. They're never going to be able to leave. But a lot of times I'm finding it's the venue, and it's a matter of liability for them. They just don't want to put up with the hassle of potential lawsuits is what it is. That's what I found out from most of the promoters I've talked to, that it is not the promoter who wants to not do it. I had a show last year that canceled something barely a week out because they wanted to do it so bad, but the venue fought them on it, saying we're going to close, and they're like, no, we can't. I've got a show. So it's from my experience, at least the last year, it has not been the promoter. In most cases, I should say, it has not been the promoter. I have had a couple occasions where a couple small promotions did back out because of concern for people. But now I'm seeing shows that are enforcing masks. It's not like you can pull, you're a First Amendment frauditor and you're going to go in because, God gave you clean air and you need to breathe it and not your own stinky breath. Well, you know what? Brush your teeth and put on your mask. Okay. End of discussion. So, we got to be safe about this. I'm going to shows where everyone will be. In fact, I did a show last year where we were required to have hand sanitizer at our station, and they had volunteers going through the audience. And if you were anyone, whether it was a vendor or a guest, if you weren't wearing a mask and refused to wear it properly, like over your nose and your mouth, you were ejected from the venue without refund. So people are being safer, but just the same, people are still scared. And I doubt very much we're going to have 70% vaccination herd immunity by the end of May. I can't even get Cookie her shot until April, and I'm going to be I'm about 15 days out from having mine. And they keep saying, well, get your shot right now, but it's impossible to get your shot right now. And we've got people in the state of Indiana, although they've done a great job of the rollout. There's still first line providers that haven't gotten shots yet. There's still people in nursing homes haven't gotten their immunization yet. We won't be at 70. We won't be at herd immunity at the end of May. I guarantee it. because my friend Steve said so, right, Pops? Anyway, Jeff Goulet says B-Rod is in the building. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the guiding light of our life he is, and shameful person last night. It was delicious. Anyway, Carlene says, wonder if anyone noticed that Aunt Donna had nothing to say about Uncle Carl's comment. I figured you were stalking him, and it would be slowly I turn step by step, and yeah, Pops noticed. And Grant Lankard says, all the stare at my crotch energy is what makes David Lee Roth great. I will say that Dave is the kind of person I like to watch on TV, but would never want to hang out in real life. Yeah, I've heard he's interesting. Although I did see a video one time. He was at a fancy hotel. He was performing, I think it was in Vegas or someplace, but he was performing downstairs, and the people across the hall were blaring old Van Halen across the way. And Dave went over and knocked on their door, and you thought maybe he was going to tell them to turn the noise down. Instead, he walked over and goes, "Hi, you may know me. I'm David Lee Van Roth. I'm across the hall from you guys. I've been hearing your music. Thank you. Thank you so much for being a fan." It was handing out here's some CDs, give them out to your friends in there, and hope you're going to catch the show tonight. Here's some tickets. It's like, good on you, Dave. Good on you. And Nick Tucker says, speaking of Freddie Mercury, I have it on good authority. He was a siren. Cryptid representation matters. That's right. Well, I heard he was a horny guy, so I guess he qualifies. And Scott Cracker says, by the way, I had an amazing idea for a video game, but I lack the money, resources, staff, and skill to pull it off, which is really sad, but I suppose that just means I'll have to put it in a safe. Yeah, hold on to that, man. There are ways to get your game out there. I just don't remember what they are right now. And Carly is being mocked by Carl Witzman's laughter, which means his life expectancy is lowered. Grant is working on a Kickstarter for his Beowulf comic. Check it out, says Cindy Kemp. Yeah, definitely do. I've seen the sample. It is really good stuff. I'm not just saying that. I don't say that just to be supportive. I say it because it's true. And Rick Radley says that story reminds me of when Dave Grohl broke his leg during a show but told everyone not to leave and finished the show with an EMT holding his leg together, once again showing just how amazing that man is. Yeah, he's doing like covers right now. He and the Foo Fighters of they did a Bee Gees song. I think it was Staying Alive. And then I think just yesterday or so, they released a cover of Shadow Dancing by Andy Gibb. And it's like, Dave just sounds like one of those guys, unlike David Lee Van Roth or David Lee Roth. I would definitely not just have a beer with Dave Grohl. I'd buy him a beer. I'd buy him beer all night. He just sounds like a genuinely nice person. And the thing is, I'm not an Axl Rose fan at all. And I'm barely a fan of Guns N' Roses. Not really, except for Slash. He's a great guitarist. But when Dave broke his leg, he had a special chair constructed. It's almost like a Game of Thrones chair that propped up his leg. And when Axl Rose was fronting AC/DC for their last tour, before the current one, he loaned Axl his chair. And I understand there's somebody else that got the Dave's chair when they broke their leg. So Dave's chair is making the rounds. Grant Lankard, controversial opinion. Van Hagar sucks, but it is not Sammy Hagar's fault. Eddie's songwriting went downhill when he focused more on keyboards than guitar. I don't think they sucked. I think musically they became. I think they kind of evolved as far as their music went. And yeah, Eddie did a lot more with keyboards in that, but I think it was good. It was good stuff. I think because it reminded me of a lot of the 80s electronica that was coming out of Europe at the time, where you had a solid keyboard base and the guitar complemented it, like Ultravox, or Gary Newman sometimes would do that. Or Echo and the Bunnymen, I think, is another good example of that. But yeah, I thought Sammy Hagar brought the songwriting level up a lot. I'm really a big fan of Sammy Hagar. And sadly, I must be going. It is sad, Cindy. We're glad you're here, though. Y'all have a fun and festive time. I'll catch up with y'all later. In the meantime, you'll have to check out Rising Tide and get much fun merch. Thank you very much, Cindy. Such as this lovely and decorative Rising Tide drinking mug, or a cup if you prefer. Shut up, Christian, about cups. Anyway, Yeah, please check it out. We've got some great merchandise. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll be above the screen. Below the screen. If you're watching on Facebook, it's above the screen. Check out our merch line. We would appreciate it. It's a great help to our mission. And thank you, Cindy Cap. We hope you have a great day as well. It's always a delight to have you here. Michaela J says, Carly, I figure you're used to it by now. Carly, I still haven't gotten over hearing she-bop as music. Oh my God, I think I've heard that too. Wow. It's great what they can do with music. It really is. And Michaela, having the castle helps, I'm sure. And I send suggestions to Michaela all the time, but she only laughs. I know, same with me. She just rolls her eyes in typical male. You know the thing? Anyway, comics talk with Pops Van Zandt says CromCon is not this weekend. Oh, the last weekend of every month. Love you, Brian, but get that checked. No, you have to stop making a liar of me. Have it every weekend. Okay, Pops, it's on you now. All right. I know people will love you for it. I'm serious. It's a good event. And did you ever hear the story that Eddie Van Halen asked Patti Smith to join Van Halen before Sammy Hagar and she declined? Grant Lankard, yes, I had heard that story. And I also heard that there was a guy that I think it was either just before or after Gary Cherone of Extreme was in the group. They asked another gentleman who auditioned for the lead singer slot. I think it was after Cherone. That's it. And they told him basically, you're in. But before they could even get to rehearsal for a tour or do any sort of recording, they called the guy and said, listen, we've just reconciled with Dave again, and we're going to go with him. We're sorry, but we have to do this. And the guy understood because he was also a huge fan, just like Brian Johnson was of AC/DC, or blanking out on his name, the gentleman who's now the lead guitarist for Kiss. I'm blanking on his name. He got a job as guitar tech, and when Ace Frehley was fired from the group again, they told this guy, well, you know all the songs. You want to put on some makeup? And they're at it. So anyway, the fun world of rock and roll. Ryan Provincent says, still looking for book recommendations. Send me a DM with some links. Ooh, yeah. And Ryan, I don't know if I have, but I can do that. Please remind me. And okay, got to run for real. John B. Pica, thank you for being here. Back of the cereal box. Check him out Saturday morning at 9 p.m. when the ladies are taking over. Oh yeah. And Michaela Jade says, I don't laugh, Carl, but I ponder whether I should or not. Michaela says, as well, you should, Michaela. Eric Hawkins says, Photoshop is my go-to, but I've been using it for years. Clip Studio I use for lettering, and it can do almost everything Photoshop can do. That's something, because I wouldn't mind learning how to letter. I really wouldn't. I used to hand letter all my old comics. I got pretty good with the names lettering guide. I'm telling you, I still have it somewhere. But I wouldn't mind learning how to use something to do comic book lettering. That would help myself. And I would think Adobe Illustrator would be good for most of you looking to create graphics and stuff for books and YouTube, says Eric Hawkins. Yeah, but it's got a pretty steep subscription rate right now. Unless you get like an old version. I think you could still get some of that for free from Adobe. I think. Michaela J says, ooh, I just learned my local librarians do book reviews. Ooh, Michaela. Hanging on your coattails, I am. And FYI, says Grant Lankard, the Adobe Creative Suite is the only thing that I believe people should not feel guilty about pirating. Adobe has been blatantly buying up graphic design software companies so that they can have a monopoly and overcharge struggling freelance graphic designers. They are pure evil, and I would never voluntarily give them money. Well, Grant, I have to say, for a number of reasons, most of which are legal, I cannot endorse pirating. But what you do in your own time is up to you. And I will confess, back in the day, I did, do file sharing of, before comic books got aggressive about digitizing what they do, I have a complete set of Big Shot comics with Skyman, The Face, and Joe Palooka on my hard drive that I got through through digital download, because nobody was doing reprints of them. I figured if nobody's doing reprint, it's fair game. Or I would watch a show on TV that like Doctor Who. I might watch it because they'd be, I couldn't wait. But then I would delete it from my hard drive as soon as the show as soon as I watched it. And, whenever the DVD or Blu-ray comes out, I always buy that to make sure that they get paid. But I agree, it's overpriced. And unless you are a professional, I don't know that it's worth it. And I think it's I'm paying like about $50 a month now for my StreamYard. I am going to get the bargain thing. It just didn't fit into my budget this month when I switched over. But anyway, and thanks, John. But yeah, I agree. I think it's a little overpriced. That's why we got this emulator for it. And Grant, if you're interested, I'll ask Cookie what the name of it is. It is majorly cheap, and it does every ding dong thing that Adobe does. Okay. And sorry for my rant. I've had a lot of coffee. It's welcome, Grant. It's good to hear that sort of thing. It really is. And Brian and Hawkins, good morning programs. Good morning, Brian. And thank you for being one of my patrons. I appreciate that so very much. And Carl Witzman, and since Joe Dog isn't here, don't die, feed Cookie. Yeah, I'm 15 minutes behind, so we're going to catch up now. Last night was not Brian beaming, it was Brian blessed. We were both blessed. Fortunately, Brian and I enjoy each other's company, at least online. We are scheduled to meet later this year in person. We both will have had our vaccinations by then, and we're going to be meeting in his near his home 20. And so I'm looking forward to meeting Brian for the first time in person, man. Hugs will ensue. It's going to be a good time. Hope he brings Robin with him. Robin's a delight. She was fun last night. You get to see his wife last night on Clever Title Pending too. Scott Crocker says, when I was a kid, they said I was gifted. To whom, and do they have the receipt? I need to be returned. Got a factory defect. But is your warranty still good, Skunk Crocker? Mine ran out long ago. No, I'm damaged goods, and physically too. And Grant Lankard says, I edited the Beowulf trailer in my comic book reviews on Wondershare Filmora 10. It's under $100 and easy to learn. I don't think you needed a new computer to run it. That might be what, I don't know. That's what Cookie's running. Your trailer was beautiful, man. Seriously. You did a great job on that. And Ted Davies, who is still looking for love on his YouTube channel, please subscribe to his channel. He needs to be over 200 people. He does such great work. The Fez needs some love. Subscribe to the main man at Rising Tide Publications. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ted. I appreciate that. Please check out my YouTube channel. We are running this show. We have past editions plus various guest shots and stuff. Plus, we have some shares of our Rising Tide Network people, including Ted Davies. Please subscribe to his when you are done subscribing to me. And Nick Tucker says, I'd rather fail than never try. I agree. Somebody asked me one time, would you rather pay the price of success or the price of regret for never having tried it? That's an easy one. That is so easy. And a tender moment in the secret humor group, Carl Witzman, time to reboot. Yeah. And Brian Robbins says, thank you so much for all you do, my friend. Thank you, Brian. You do a lot too, man. You are in there in the trenches with me. You're truly an inspiration. Things may have changed with your broadcasting as far as functionality, but you are not doing this thing alone. I can't wait to see how you rise above this obstacle. We'll be there to rise with you. I'm bringing you with me, man. I'm bringing everyone with me. Thank you for another amazing start to our hump day. Keep doing what you're doing. This world needs you. Hashtag feed Cookie and hashtag laugh like the shadow. That makes everything worthwhile. The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. I know. I am the shadow. Try that. It feels good. Brian Rodman, I love you, brother. It was worth everything last night to have you on the show and to have you in my life, man. Much love, man. Seriously. And thank you for another amazing start to our hump day. Keep doing what you're doing. I already did that, didn't I? And Nicholas Tucker says, Sandestein, Haunting Spirits of Bachelor's Grove, Skyman, Conflict, Volcana, Nightmare Collective, Amazon Reviews Made Easy. Definitely check out Amazon for my work. Check out Nightmare Oasis, also by Lacey Lemke, and check out Nightmare Collective for Nick, Brian, Rick Bradley. I'm getting everyone confused now. It is time for me to feed Cookie. And hi, Brian. I just received the original VHS of the original Wizard of Oz from Christian Illusionist Jake. Jake, it's good to see you back, man. Hope you enjoy that show. I hear that movie's real good. And Lee Reese, glad to have you here, sir. Good morning. Meet Detective John Burke. Just one more case. That's what he was told before he could retire. This hard-hitting war vet is about to embark on a murder case that all of his training and experience did not prepare him for. When this case takes a twisted turn, he soon realizes that it hinges on a supernatural origin that could ultimately end mankind. Fueled by his own dark past, rage, and plenty of whiskey, gruesome clues will lead him to hell and back to find the answers he is looking for. Please check out that book. I assume it's on Amazon. Check out Lee Reese's work. It sounds good. In Ohio, when it gets 50 out of 100, all restrictions will be lifted. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. Indiana's well on its way. I believe last time I looked, we have no one in the red zone again. We were down to about 3 or 4 counties in Indiana where we've got something like, I think it's 92 or 102 counties in Indiana, and all but like about 3 of them were red about a month ago. We have gone down to where we have no red, only a handful of orange, and like we're in kind of like a yellow caution zone, and there's actually a few that are actually in the blue, which means all is good. So get your shots, people. Make your If you are able to, make your appointment now. And Toyman was canceled this week due to the venue limiting capacity of no more than 50 people. And you couldn't even get all the dealers into a Toyman show with 50. 50 doesn't even cover the vendors. I hadn't read that part yet, but you're right, Eric. And I feel bad for Chris. I know he puts on a good show. And he's hungry like a lot of us want to get things going and get back to normal again. Give me a San Diego Comic-Con budget, says Pops Van Zandt. I'll move to a big city and do a different theme show every weekend at a smaller venue. I wouldn't bail on it. Yeah, but like I said, I think a lot of times, like in the case of St. Louis, which is a heavily concentrated urban area, like New York City, which has been a crap hole, and like Chicago, which is a crap hole even in the best of times. It's the venue, or it's outside rules that are, in this case, that are limiting the number of people and just not making it worth it for the promoter. Appreciate all you do, Brian. Ted Davies, you do so much, man. I hope, well, at least we got you one person. Please go to Ted Davies Artistry and sign up for his page, because he is awesome and you deserve him. And he's going to have a great show tomorrow. I know he will. And anyway, thanks to everyone who has liked, shared, and subscribed to my YouTube channel. Much success to you all and to you, Ted. And Ted is going to have a brand new TED Talks. He's got 3 shows before the weekend. He's getting up there with me as far as broadcast time. He's going to be on TED Talks Timepieces tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Please check that out. That's Eastern time. And then Friday is the premiere of Drinking with the Davies, as he and his lovely wife Chrissy get together and talk about imbibing. I'm glad you like that word, Ted. But check out how Ted and Chrissy are going to examine drinks that are no longer in vogue, but were hot at one time. I want to put in a request for Tom Collins. My parents used to drink that stuff all the time when I was a kid. And I'd love it if you and Chrissy would get on that. That would be fun. But anyway, please check out the show and check out all of what Ted Davies does. He also has a great TED Talks on Tuesday. He had a fantastic one with Jeffrey Hayes of Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. So please check out what he does. He's awesome. And Brian, you know where Steve is? Yeah, if you're on the moon and he's by the Great Wall of China, you can see him waving at you. And Brian said David Lee Van Roth and Eddie burped in his coffin. He's probably spinning in it like a turbine. And William Paces says fezzes are cool. So are bow ties, my man. William, good to see you here. Hope you're having a great morning so far. And let's see. Here we go. And Christian Illusionist Jake says, I meant to tell you something really awesome I experienced this week. I saw a super bright light. I'll DM you the rest of the story. I don't want to offend anyone. Thank you, Christian Jake. I appreciate that, man. That reminds me, I saw an article this morning that somebody in Great Britain found there was the bright light and an explosion. It was a meteorite coming into the atmosphere, and it superheated and exploded over this one town. And this guy went out the next day and found like a chunk of the meteorite. And scientists he gave it to some scientists, and they say that this is one of the oldest types of meteorite ever to hit the Earth. There's only we've got hundreds of thousands of these things in various laboratories across the world. This is only one of 51 that we have found, just like the area. And that said that this has some of the elements of the actual formation of our universe. So that's exciting. And Van Halen never had a number one song until Sammy. Yeah, that's true. And there we go. I was waiting for someone to make this joke. Eric Hawkins. The Eric Hawkins says 2 Brians, 1 cup. Yeah, pretty much. And it's this one because we both have one. Oh, we're going to get to the end of the show, I swear. And Hex Allen Comics. Hey, Comic Talks with Pop Van Zandt. Well, hey, Hex Allen, good to see you here. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. And Nick Tucker said, it really is hard to be a fan of instrumental music because if you don't know the name or title, you are hosed. You know that awesome synthwave chill lofi song? Or that EDM with the sick bass drop? Yeah, Nicholas Tucker, that is. Although I think there is a thing now with Google where you can actually, if you have like Google Assistant or whatever, you can hum the song and it will try to find it for you. Oh, we live in an age of miracles, and there we go. Pop says hello, and my mom hated Van Halen, says Bill Sarn, not because of their music, but because of how they acted when they were hospitalized at St. Elizabeth's Hospital in Danville. I'll tell the whole story Friday night in Uncle Carl and Uncle Don's green room. How's that for a teaser for your show, Carl? There we go. I didn't know. Well, it's true. That would have been like the last days of St. E's. I was born in St. E. My grandmother worked, however, at what was then Lakeview over on Logan Street. So, which is why when I had to have an operation for a polynidal cyst on my tailbone when I was 16, that because my grandmother worked at St. E worked at Lakeview is why I went to St. E. And she said, well, the same thing I've been telling you about, my hospital happens there. I said, yeah, but at least I don't know about it. Okay. So that's cool though. Yeah. And I stayed in a hotel in downtown Peoria, beautiful old hotel where they had pictures of people who had stayed there, celebrities. And one of them was Van Halen. In fact, I think it was the Diamond Dave era, prime time. And Nicholas, XYZ La Villa San Stragiato, where's my thing? Rush has many great instrumentals. You will remember the name of his Comics Talk with Pops Van Zandt. Oh, yeah, and some of those great Neil Peart drum solos. I'm finding those amazing. And not to keep the show going any longer, but there is a post. I've seen an image that was going around Twitter, Facebook, etc. That was a list of free programs that emulate the Adobe CC Suite. Oh, yeah. There's alternatives out there, people. Shop wisely. Thank you for that, Skunk. Thank you. And if you can find that, a list of vector art programs that is extremely similar to Illustrator if your moral compass prevents you from riding upon ye high seas of piracy. Yar! There we go. That's it. Keep it legal. And a lot, and some of it is like open source. So you might get it for free. But you are encouraging the promoters to keep evolving it. So it's good stuff. And Ames Lettering Guide, says Eric Hawkins. Well, that makes me old just knowing what that is. Yeah. The thing is, I went into an art store. So it would have been about 5 years ago. I was visiting in Urbana, Illinois, and they still sold Ames Lettering Guides there. I was so excited. And from this desk of a small press publisher, lesson 15 to feed, time to feed Cookie. I'm working on it. Actually, lesson 2. Grant Lankard says, obviously, I don't pirate Adobe Creative Suite because I would never admit to doing something illegal on a streaming channel. That was all hypothetical. He was asking for a friend. I get you. And we're moving on from there for Grant's sake. And Brian Hawkins, good morning, user. There we go. And everyone take care and stay creative. Rick Bradley, you mend fast, brother. The world needs you. Skunk Rocker says, evenings I stare at the shadows that crawl across my wall as the cars drive past their headlights shining through the window reflections of the nightlife. And I think to myself, damn it, StreamYard. Oh yeah. StreamYard screwed up and didn't show Brian my comment. What am I paying money for? Yeah, what am I paying money for now? I'm telling you. And Carlene, Carlson, little boy's room, Bill, shall we just let it be a surprise for him? Yeah, let's do that. Why tell him, right? It's only his green room. And got Pops Fan says, peace, I'll go feed Cookie. Thank you, brother. Much love, man. Seriously. And Carlene says, looks like Brian's going to be in trouble. Too late to Don't Die Feed Cookie. Nope, I've got one more minute. And later on, thank you, Carly. Thank you all for being here this morning on a lively episode of Nevermind the Furthermore. Good numbers I have to report. And again, thank you for celebrating my independent broadcasting ways now. Now it's official. But I don't do this alone, and I recognize that. And I want to thank the other members of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network for their support, including our guests on our shows and all of you folks, you fine people out there. Thank you all for your encouragement. It means so very much to me. You cannot know how much. As we're gonna have a few rough days here. It's not gonna be as slick as it has been, but we're gonna fix that real soon. And Skunk, I may put upon you. We can talk. We'll make it. I'll do something to make it worth your while. But anyway, we're gonna get back up to slickness again. But in the meantime, I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank the Rising Tide Broadcast Network for your unending support, and please support these guys and gals. They do so much great programming. Look at the variety on there. And this doesn't count things like the Armchair Rockets. Oh, it does have the Armchair Rocket Science, but it does, and Carl and Ted and Carl's Cigar Show, and our brand new show, Comic Book Spectrum, which will be on tomorrow night at 7 p.m. We'll have broadcast notes, but please take a screenshot of that. That is our schedule at the moment. And I'm sure we're going to add more shows. And this does not include Drinking with the Davies, Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, where Ted and Chrissy Davies are going to teach you how to enjoy a wonderful, wonderful drink responsibly. It'll be great stuff. Please check it out. And also, please, thank you to our Patreon subscribers you see there. $1 will get you something. Please check out our what we have to offer at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. We have blogs that the general public won't see. We have shared the first chapter of our audiobook there, our first audiobook. We gave them a voice on our next audiobook release. And we also have been featuring first draft flash fiction novels that we are I think I'm about a dozen chapters in or so. I'm finishing up 27 in the next few days as I'm researching my work on the Abraham Snow story I'm submitting. But please check out our Patreon subscribers, many of whom have their own Patreon page, and check out what they've got too, please. And a couple more comments. I did it again. Oops, I did it again. Why? Stop blocking my comment, StreamYard or YouTube or whatever is doing this. I'm just trying to spread the good word about Ted. Damn it. Thank you. It may be because of the link and you're on YouTube. Skunk, what will happen is I think it'll give me the option to okay the comment, because it is it's a web address and sees it as spam. So I will fix it, Skunk. Don't get upset. I've got this one. Okay, I'm taking over for you. And also, please, folks, please subscribe to Ted Davies Artistry on YouTube. He is looking for to make the 200 subscriber mark, and we'd like to see him get that as well. He does such a great job of broadcasting. So many great broadcasts here on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, who are now the new fuelers of this show. Thank you very much. And also, we want to thank Plasma Fire Graphics. When the look of your book matters to you, it matters to your reader. So please, please, please check out Plasma Fire Graphics for their amazing work. We're going to run their video at the end of the show and one more. But anyway, thank you for watching today. We appreciate you all greatly. Thank you for your ongoing support of this enterprise. And also, program notes. I'm all you have to put up with on Wednesday. Okay. But tomorrow, Teresa Dunn on her profile page on Facebook will be having her second interview show. And she's got somebody really terrific who's got a great message, who survived a very abusive marriage and is turned to helping others through her writing. Please check it out tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central on Teresa Dunn's profile page on Facebook. Now, as far as Rising Tide broadcasting goes, next 2 days are packed. Oh my God, you've got so much to watch. 10 a.m. tomorrow, Ted talks timepieces as he does an examination of another fine, super fine wristwatch. Those have been great shows. I've really dug them. Glad you're doing them. And then in the evening, we've got you covered at 7 p.m. will be Comic Book Spectrum issue 3 with Clyde Hall, Brian Rodman, Eric Hawkins, and myself. And we got a question from one of our audience members that we're going to spotlight. In fact, we're going to limit our reviews tomorrow so we can pick it up. And here it is from Dave Rediger on YouTube. I'm going to read it real fast. On a mainstream level, do you guys think there may be a problem in creating new fans of actual comic books? Everything is so splintered these days. Most people are content with just watching the movies or TV shows or even just playing the games. Could it be a reading issue? We're going to talk about that tomorrow. We welcome your comments, so please join us tomorrow at 7 p.m., 6 p.m. Central for the 3rd issue of Comic Book Spectrum. Collect them all. We're keeping a playlist on YouTube so you can watch them there. And then following us at 8 p.m. will be Creative as Hale. Amy Hale and her husband John will be interviewing the amazing Susan Tisdale, an amazing, prominent, and profitable romance writer. And I'll be there with a pen and paper taking notes like crazy. You'll love her attitude. You'll find out what chesticles are probably. And she's a fantastic, passionate writer that I love watching her shows. You will love it too. So check in Amy Hale's Creative as Hale tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. At 9 p.m. Eastern will be The Great Stupid O'Clock with Joe Dog McKeel, the skunk rocker himself who makes that show, along with Dan, John, and everyone else on that show. That is so amazing. I love listening to it. It's a fantastic show. Please check it out. Please check out all the shows on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. You will love them. And also thank you to the Hanging with Web show for helping promote us. And John B. Pica, thank you for keeping us in the public eye, and hope we can give you guys value in return. And we will be back Friday for another Nevermind the Furthermore. We're gonna have we got some good stuff. 6 o'clock is Drinking with the Davies at and 7 p.m. is Michaela Jade's Tidbits and Squiggles, and at 8 p.m. is the Historical Fencing Guild. So you've got 2 solid days here of great broadcasting. We got 7 days of broadcasting on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Thank you all for your support. And yeah, I'm going to stop talking soon, I promise. And anyway, I love you all. Bye. Skunk, I love you too, man. I seriously do. You are so awesome. And well, there's no link. I don't know why it's blocking it. That's why I'm confused. Anyway, have a good day, Brian. Skunk, I will have one if you have one first, my friend. You take care of yourself, and we'll see you tomorrow night on Stupid O'Clock, gratefully. So we're going to get to the end here and want to thank everyone for watching. Thank you as we grow a little bit more in the Rising Tide Network, and we hope you go back and watch all the old shows and enjoy them, and please share them with your friends so they can enjoy them too. And like I said, if you're watching on Facebook, whether it's the Rising Tide Broadcast Network page or the Rising Tide Publications page or Kathy Jackson's books, please give this video a like if you enjoyed any part of it. And please, please, please give the page a like as well to thank your host for hosting us. And also, if you're watching us on YouTube on the Brian K. Morris Rising Tide Publications channel, please give a thumbs up on this video if you've enjoyed any part of it. And also, please consider sharing it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to our page. It helps us so much. We'd like to reach 1,000 plus subscribers before the end of the year. And we hope you'll be one of them. And please ring that little bell so you'll be notified of all future appearances. And so I think that's all I can think of to say. But again, thank you all for your support in this very challenging growth time for this network. And we appreciate that you appreciate what we do here, not just our writing and our broadcasting, but our message. And we hope you'll share it with everyone you know. We would appreciate that. And we'll try to share what as best we can of yours. So anyway, folks, as always, this is me. And I hope you have a great day, everyone. Hope you have a great hump day. And as always, folks, remember to stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. All right? Never. Keep rising, keep growing. Have a great Wednesday, and we'll see you next time on Nevermind the Furthermore. Have a great Wednesday, everyone.
This is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Also catch us on the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. Subscribe today and become part of the legend.
Stormgate Press presents a collection of 7 new short stories from today's leading authors and illustrators in the new pulp genre. Experience courageous two-fisted heroes and their intrepid and often dangerous exploits. From dark, watery depths to high-flying heights, these fantastic tales span the globe and take the reader on fast-paced adventures in classic pulp style. Take a seat as we pull back the curtain on days gone by with edge-of-your-seat storytelling in the vein of Golden Age era pulp fiction. This is Pulp Reality. Available now from Stormgate Press on Amazon.com.